How do you write nueve? How do you write nueve in Spanish? How do you write nueve in Spanish? New. In nueve in Spanish, and nueve in Espanol. Nueve. N-U-E-V-A. New Zealand Mars. Right? New Zealand Mars. That's what I was looking for. Exactly what I was looking for. New Zealand Mars. As long as we're just one person right now, I'm going to continue on into what I'm doing. I can't keep picking up my head and turning to the screen and picking up my head and turning to the screen. So I wish I can put this on pause, and I can't. So we're going to get right along. How can I point my camera down? I think my stand is up there. I don't even like the stand. I used to put my camera on top of something. I put it on the stand. And just point it down over here. So what am I working on right now? It's pretty simple. In the word IGHT, we can have right and equaling to 8. Another thing about 8, I was just thinking of 8 before. And 8 is because of this. This is where 8 comes in. I'm going to show you. But it doesn't come in there. Where it actually comes in, it's right here. Why? Because in the game of roulette, this area space, okay, they're in the center, is number 35. You get 35 back for one chip. So you need to start with 1. You need to get 35, and now you have the total of 36. So the extension of the 10 of who you are is the balance of the 360 degrees, in which stretches out to 365.25, okay, because you're stretching out from this side. And here is who you are, and you stretch out to both sides. So the value on this side or on that side comes out to 365. Now, what is it on this side that you're not? What is the 360? You see the cord goes all the way around to here and it stops. And then you fill in the rest of the cord. You just slip into place to connect the beginning and the end. The first and the last. Now, when is it first and last, and how can we determine by something created on this planet where first and last ended up, and why I found 8 in this design? I find 8 in this design because this area center over here, okay, is the center of the entirety of the two numbers. What happens over here, okay, sorry, of the two area spaces, when these two come joint together in these area spaces, this is where the 35 to 1 comes in. I didn't want to bring this up right now. I'm still delving into it. I want to say that the 8H, this is where it all started. The H is right over here in this area here because it's 8 to 1. So although you are the 9 birth, you are the 8 and the 1. That's who you are. Here you are 1, 3, and 5 because you get to keep one chip for 35. This is C and E. Now, I wanted to talk about New Zealand when E and A come together for O. 260. The 100 is from the 1010 creation, is 360. To replicate, it becomes Wow, what was it? I'm just trying to think of it. Filling in the gap equals to 105.25. Wow, I can't get into that. This is talking about Earth, Mars, the half-life, the student. These two numbers here will be reversed. It'll be 16 over here. This is saying Mars. The 1 and the 5 creates the 6 that is in the center. That is the greatest number. Okay, oops, hold on a second. That is the greatest number. That's 6. What happens, okay, is it's over here. That's the half-life. It's an automatic half-life. The only way to do it is to set up the dice this way. But the only way to set up, there's something I missed in the last video. Do you see these 3 over here? Look at the angle and look at the angle. But I don't have this area space is not being used. No area space is being used here or here. The center is being used the opposite of it. And here inside with 3 and 4. Okay, there's a whole new game I found with this dice. Where was I? Yes, so you see this, okay, this is part of this. Everything here, 2, 4, 6, 8 goes around the void. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 is connected to the void, is unconnected to the void. Anyways, regardless of that, this is your 5 with your 4 void. That's the sun. Here's your 4 with your 5 void, and that's the sun. But it's a reflective of a creation sun, okay, instead of just the B sun, the bison. See the 5 energy breaking and entering with 5 and 2. This is the Earth planet. 3 and 4 is telling a different story. This is telling the story of the sun. This is telling the story of the 7th gate. 3 times 4 is 12. 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 and 12 is 19 or 91. The spirit of a quarter cycle, because there's 91 times 4 times 13 creates the 364 moons. Anyways, I'm getting off track. One of the things about putting this 1 and 5, these are the 2 of the greatest distance, 1 and 5. The greatest distance. What can I do? A, B, C, D equals 10, equals 10. Plus E equals to 5, equals to 15. 1 and 5. And it's right over here. 1, 0, 5. And then Earth is 5 times 5. I don't know if I want to look at it that way. That is your breaking and entering into the 7th gate. Inside of this, inside 2 and 5 is 3 and 4, and outside 2 and 5 is 1 and 6. And what's ironic is the numeric value for 1 is 3, 4, creating the spirit. Spirit in the moon, 1/3 spirit, of course, because 3 times 19 equals to 57. Okay, so we have to get 3 by 91 equals to 273. So we look at the days, the creation of the red sun. This is in the moon. The last one to come here would be 19 more, and it would say 76. 3 by 3, I did that. Now 6 and 1 equals 7. 3 and 4 equals 7. But the numeric value for 6 is number 52. And that 52, 5 and 2 is 7. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and 6. There's all our numbers. 42, okay. So if we're going to connect something mathematically to 7 and 6, 1 times 6, 6. 1 plus 6, 7. So now we've created from these two. These two come out and now create. The 7 and 6 multiplication creates 42. So it takes from both 1 and 6. The 7 plus 6 takes from 1 and 3, leaving out number 5. So the 2, 3, 4 vibration was used. 5 was not used, and 6 was not used. 5 and 6 were not used, separate from the equation. This will equal to 55, 25, and 10 equaling to 35. And all these numbers in roulette are all playing 35 to 1. The separation, okay, the separation between 4 sets of numbers, paste 8 to 1. So you do that, so you have your value of 8 and where your H comes from. H equals 4 areas. Those are the odds. So that's the story. The odds tell the story. But what is the exact odds? If I knew the exact implied odds over here, maybe it'll tell me a different story. I have 9 altogether. How did I end up with 9 at the end? Or should it be 8 minus 1 to feed this one and 7 left over as the 7th gate? What if I put it over here, just between 2 areas? Okay, 2 areas is 17. That would be Q. Okay, Q, headquarters, 8, 17, 1 plus 7 equals 2, 8. Where do we get the value of 1? Where do we get the value of 7? We're not going to get into that. I just know that 17 is a special number because the 17 must always be calculated times 2 times, the 17 will always go together with 18 and 19. It's a family, 17, 18, and 19. They are one family. It all happens at the same time. The minute you hit 10, it ignites it. What happens in the house is 11 to be created. And now we begin the twins. 10 and 11 are not like the others. They're not like the others. They aren't like the others in numbers, and they're not like the others in any other way. 11 is not telling you anything to do with a number, and 10 is not telling you anything to do with a number at all. The only thing that this says over here is this says E5 and T20. So it's talking about Earth. It's talking about the divided worlds because it takes 4 times 20 to create your value of H. The French also tell us that. They tell you something about 20. They tell you something how to get to 80. They tell you how to get to 70. The French tell you. They tell you. They say 60 and 10 equals to 70. So it's like everything stops at 60 because 80 is 4 times 20. See, this one is with the 10. This one is with the 20. They're talking about something different. If you had to do 20 with numbers, you would have 4 and 6, 10, 2 and 8, 10. 10 and 10 equals to 20. If you have to cross through number 5 4 times from 1 to 5 to 9 to 3 to 5 to 9, with this number 5 alone passing is a value of 20 in itself because of the role it plays. 4 times, the center gets 4 times the value. That center is your reason for 10. It gets 4 times its value. So when you say 80, you're going 4 times the value. So that means I automatically, what does that mean? I have to have that. And you create 4 areas. So I have 20, 40, 60, 80. The whole thing is I have 80. Okay. And what about this area over here? Is this 80 and 10? Because you're linking. Either you're linking this way and you link 3 with 7, 10, or you link 1 with 9, 10. Or are you linking in these areas over here where 8 and 2 is 10, or 4 and 6 equals to 10? But because this center might be only for the single cube, notice the way I turned it on the angle. Now all of a sudden on this angle, look what happens. The 3 goes up and down the center. When it goes up and down the center, it now fills the void that is in the 6. It fills the complete void by going up the center. It turns the 4 into a 7. But it also goes on the outside. So anyways, yeah, so this is how the French do it. The French are telling us a story. Our numbers 1 through 99, even 100, and even further on there's a story. Because if I just tell you the letter M, that's 1,000. If I tell you D, it's 500. If I tell you X, it's 10. and then I go V1. So you have a total of 1650, 1666 Roman numerals. M, D, C, I think I missed one, M, D, C, L, X, V. And I don't know if it's an I or not, but it's 13 plus 4 plus 3 plus 12 plus 24 plus 22 plus, I like to use this as an I, the last one. It's not an A, it's an I. The Roman numeral, that Roman numeral is the letter I, because it can't be an A, because otherwise they'd put an A. So it's an I, and it's not an L because they already have an L, so it's an I. So I put number 9 over here. So 13, 17, 20, 32, 42, 52, 56, 66, 76, 77, 78, 87. The gateway from Q, created from Earth. Earth and Mars, because wherever there's 2, inside of the energy pass, there is 5. These 2 numbers will create 17 and 3 for creation. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2. JG, Jack Plain God. It's a plug-in God, my friends. It's a plug-in God, my friends. It doesn't take Jack Daniels to figure out how to make a plan. It doesn't take Jack Daniels, right? JD 10-4 communication, because it does take Jack Daniels for the communication. Communication and understanding whys and why nots. It's not how you feel, it's what you understand. It's not what you think is right or wrong. It's actually the nature's way of explaining what's right and what's wrong. How not to get attached to physical and emotional. Nothing is, oh, look, I made a design, it's so beautiful. But I never did anything more than draw it up on paper. Never made more than one. How can I explain it any different? So let me get on to maybe step number 2. So now we know where 8 and 17 is. Now, where is number 26? Where is number 26? I don't really know where number 26, but somewhere on the roulette wheel, we're going to find a 26. And the reason for that is because 8, or the letter H, and it's always in the letter H or number 8, it's always representing number 1 because of what this says, 8 and 1. So even if you go to 3 and 5, they're talking about this over here. 2 and 6, they're talking about this over here. And what's funny about any of these numbers, it's their reversals. So anyways, I wanted to get back to what I missed. So the true 10 is the one that goes in the center. Okay, just want to see if I have this on paper. Just give me a second. Okay, you see these, what looks like maybe the S, the J and J, and there's a couple of reasons I drew this way. I wanted to show you the Jack, the 2 J's that come together. Where does a G come out of this? I'm not really sure yet how the J and the G come together. Maybe the G might be more like connecting maybe something like this. I'm not really sure, but so I put these 2 J's together, and I put this hook this way and this hook this way. I'm not going to complete anything else. And through here, what happens, okay, I'm not going to see where my pen is. Oh, how do I continue this piece of design. I'm not really sure where it goes, if I can do it flat out this way, or should I do it? And yeah, and then it gets connected together, something like that. Two tails, one on each end, cat's ears. I'm not really sure. Anyways, I wasn't sure where I was going with that. We looked at this. Okay, 1 second. J, the 10th letter, is for Jack. Jack represents 25. So they're the same thing. When you play cards, this is the J letter. Okay, that's Jack. The numeric value for Jack is 25. But we put the J letter. It is Q reverse 17 or J. So this is telling us a story in its own. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 create the same. Reverse, 25 reverses itself. Male, female. That Jack plugin. The J is known as the 11th card in the deck. But in the game of blackjack, the J, the Q, and the King all get the same value as the 10, because their value is 10, which equals to 39, which is the sky system. And T is the 20th letter. G is its reverse. Same thing in gematria. Tells the same story in gematria. 10 has a numeric value of 39. Okay. I'm just thinking what this is. You see, this T will turn into a number 8. I'm looking, so we got the blackjack over here, which is the 2 and the 10, talking about the blue world because of these letters. Jack is 52. 52, no, it's 25. And black is 29. So that equals to the sun. So we have a black negative to Earth. We have a black negative to Earth. I mean, black is not really black, it's brown, which black, instead of being numbered 29, okay, it gets reversed to 27, and 27 becomes red. It also becomes 100. 8, 29, or is it money? I don't remember which one it was. 29, 30, 43, 47, 57, 67. No, 100 is 74. Money is 72. So 100 is Jesus of time. So when you turn your black, where did we get 72? Oh, yeah, 72 came from money. Negative money, black. Negative money, black always brings red anyways. Numeric value. So anyways, we did the Jack, Queen, King. We have in blackjack where the Jack, Queen, King is the value of 10. So now we have, if Jack, Queen, Queen is the value of 10, so the 10, which has a numeric value of 39, and the Queen has a 62, minus 39 equals to 23. And then we have the King valued at 41, 11, 20, 30, 41, minus the 39 equals to 0.2. And then I'm just trying to see if something's different. And the Jack, which is number 25, minus 39 equals to 14. So you have 1 and 4, 5, you have 2 and 3, 5, okay, which are all surrounding this one over here. All surrounding the number 2, King, the DNA, the God, and the earth. That's what this is. DNA, God, and earth. Go look it up. Go look up number 26. Go find all the 26s. Go find the dog. Go find the letter Z. It's in New Zealand, my friend. What's in New Zealand? New Zealand. This is the place to be, right over here, New Zealand. That's our big hookup. we talked about 17. 17, and I'm all over the place. 17 is a divider between two houses. It's between two houses. 17 is a divider between two houses. 8 is a divider between four houses. There's a lot of stuff on here. I mean, I don't like when I'm not exact. And then there's the obligation inside the design. Okay. What I want to do is I want to leave an empty space where B should be. I want to leave an empty space. And once you go through the empty space, okay, if you're sending a message, you send a message from A to C through B. Or you need to send a message, whereas in the B voided area, the reason why it's voided is because you're sending a message down here. They can send the message straight up over here, but this message can't go here. It's got to go here, and then it can either be sent out over here where it's divided. You see where the Y and Y creates the division. So I'm trying to look where the message is, because the real value of this here is, this is, let's say, I didn't want to make it in pencil. This value, the value of the first box here is 1. The value of this box over here is 2. And the value of this box over here, I'll just put it in here, is, this is 3, this is 1, and this is 2. These areas. Now, the thing is, can you understand it better this way? The first box begins at half part of its own box, inside its own box, right over here. You go from here into here, close this door, open this door. This one's on this side. You go in here, close this door, move on to this side, move on to this side, go through this door, and then you're divided over here into this world. And they go the opposite way this way. You both meet in the same room from two different worlds, and we're connecting everything together over here. Do you understand? Does that make any sense to you? I did it this way because that's the size of the area space for the roulette. And then I go 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, and I try to find how many smaller areas there are in that. The gap between the empty space. We did the army stripes already in the last videos. We talked rotation inside the bee's nest. Man 10, man 10, the Eskimo, the igloo. Oh, we didn't do this, but I'm a little tired right now. All about what's in the perimeters. And when you go around the corner in a perimeter, you need all 4 of these. You can't just, you can go around, sure. I can go 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 between 8. There are 6 between 8. You follow what I'm saying? And when you number them, it's telling you a story. And where do you start your numbers? And you eliminate all the corners. But there's more than that, because we have to create 4 for each corner. So how many area spaces are we using? This is the chessboard, by the way, I'm using in this scenario. What are the area spaces between the corners? I'm a little tired. I'm going to be back here in about 15, 20 minutes. I want to thank you for watching. Watch this. Maybe I'll be back in an hour. I'm not sure. There's always something to say. There's always something to say. There's always something to say. But let me tell you one thing. Whenever you go shopping, you know, put a little bit of a pizzazz into your day. Look where it's made from. Just know the truth. Check out how many things are actually made in North America. I can't say made in I just want to talk about my town for now. And I think if everybody in the world right now would talk about their own hometown, doesn't matter where you live. We can't live on top of each other, so we don't. You are from where you are, you live where you live, and may you be a good person from your heart deep down. And good, okay, includes security and protection. Watch the movies. See what goes on in the movies. Don't tell yourself it's not real. Understand that if it could be real, is it real? Let me tell you one thing. Do you know everything? Because I don't. Thank you for watching this video. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation video. Oh, your town sucks. I didn't ask you what you paid for. Hey, Robin, I'm going to be back a little bit later. Maybe talk about the squares on the chessboard, and it's probably not even talking about chess. The size or dimensions of some small squares versus rectangles versus just squares, because the roulette wheel keeps sitting in my head. Why do they do it that way? But yet I think the numbers on a betting felt of craps might be different and tell me something else. So there's a few things. One that's rectangular might be talking about the cards. One that is more square could be talking about the cubes. So maybe they're differentiating it this way. 6 and 2, 8 and 3, 9 and 4, 11 and 15. I just made a little dot thing up here yesterday. And the first 4 dots created only one area. So one area for 4 DNA. 6 dots created 2 areas, 6 and 2 the God. 8 dots. Now, why would I go this further? Why would I go all the way out? Shouldn't I go down? I should go down 2 dots and then here 2 dots. So here you're putting 2 dots next to the 2 dots. So why would I put these 2 dots first? Why wouldn't I put these 2 dots first and then those 2 dots over here? So you're going to create 1 space, and then you put these 2 dots, you got 2 spaces, and you put those 2 dots, you got 3 spaces. But you have 3 more spaces to go. So you put the 2 more, after you put the 2 dots here and the 2 dots here, right? I got to show you. First you got these 4. Then you add either these 2 or these 2. It doesn't matter. You add these 2 and you add these 2. Now, which ones do you add next? You put these 2 or do you put these 2? Well, the minute you put these 2, you will create 1 closed spot and 1 extra to close the spot, because here are already 3. I only need to put down 1 dot over here for a whole spot. So do you remember how it first began? It first began when I needed 4 dots. Then I could have put 1 dot here and 1 dot here, but then I would have been a perfect shape, right? Isn't that what we wanted? We wanted to create that shape. I mean, if I didn't do it that way, what would it look like if I created it this way, right? Instead of it that way. Or I could have created it, one second. We got to go with the first 4. 4 creates 1 area, and 4 is A, B, C, D equals to 10, right? So 6 is not complete. When you put your first 3, right, your 6 creates your 6 equals the half space. So you see what I'm always talking about, 6 and being the half space? 6 creates the half space right here, A, B, C. And then your 10th one over here, your D over here. So now what we're going to also do is we did these 4. Then I'm going to say I'm going to put it here and put it here. And now I have this space, 1 1/2 and 1 1/2. I created 1 with half and half. And now I would take this one here and this one here. And now I would create 2 spaces. And now to finish off my last space, I just need 1. So did you understand? This is the way it is. 1, 2, 3. 3. First it was 1, then it was 3. Now you had then you had 1. You created a space. Then you had 1 and 1, or you had 2 because it's on the outside, so you put a 2. And you couldn't put a space. And then you put another 2, and then you were able to create 2 more spaces. And then you created a 1, and the 1 last space, close that one over there, and now you have your first complete closed box. 1, 3, 1, actually is 1 and 2 created 3. Well, I should have did it that way. It was 1 and 2. 1 and 2 created your first one, and then you could have put 1 again. So you could have put 1, 2, 1 if you really wanted to. See the 1 in the center, the 2 separated. So you go 1, 2, 1, and then you go 2. And then what would you do? And then you go 2 again. You have to go 2 again. So you go 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1. Can it be said that way? Anyways, I just got to go over that again. I go 1, then I go 2, and then I would go, let's say, 2 again. And then I would go 2 again. And that would give me that. And now I would have to go straight up and down. So I can't do it that way, but that does say 81, if that was the scenario. So different ways to play this. Little bit of everything, huh? Leave it open. 2 is better than 1. So I'm just trying to figure out where that whole scenario goes, and it means something. Earlier on or yesterday, I was playing with the dots, and I said, my first 2 dots, let's do this again. Oh, forget about it. Let's go to here for a second. A is 1. AB is 3. ABC is 6. Right? So when I go 1 and 4 equals to 5, and then ABC equals to 6, so 6 and 4 equals to 10. So it took me ABC 6 to equal to 10. So if that's true, that means ABC, okay, ABC plus AB plus A equals to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now what happens when we get to D plus 10 equals to 14? So we have ABCD equals to 10 plus 10 equals to 20. Adding up Fibonacci style. And then we get ABCDE equals to 15. And now we got 35. And that's where I said everything should end on 35. But we have ABCDE, which is the reverse side. What is the reverse side of A? It's ABCDEF. 21 is the reverse of 1, and that's 22. Second area over here, AB is the reverse of ABCDE. This is 39 or 31. 39, this is the sky. And ABC and ABCD, this is 1020, location. Your location is the half-life in the heavens of creation of the sun, right over here. Number 56 is missing. I'm looking towards the 7th gate. We got to turn these numbers into something else. Do we live between ace and ace? Where's ace 11? Where did ace 11 come into the equation? I didn't do anything on the knife, the fork, and the spoon. I didn't talk about that. ET is that 20. When you have 5 and 20, it's ET. So the numeric value for Earth is a 52 or 25. At 25, it says ET. So if you're leaving on a jet plane, it's because that's your jack hookup to Earth's heart. Your jack hookup to Earth's heart is your J letter. So here is your J letter, here is your T letter, here is your D letter, here is your A letter. There is no number 35, but the 35 is going to revert to be I'm just trying to think how I should measure up this. How can I measure number 35? How can I measure number 35? Number 35. There are 26 letters. There are 9 numbers. So if I went for the 9 numbers first, not including 0, but 0 is 10 starting over, right? 10 and 11 are so different. But it's 10 and 1 if you want to look at it. But anyways, that's the only one is 10 and 1, right? When it gets to 12, 10 and 2. 13 can actually be 10 plus 1 plus 2. But these two will always have to be the way they are. There is no other one that can replace this one. You can go 10 and 1 and 1. But it defeats the whole purpose, because this is only going to talk about this the same way this talks about this. Because how can I explain it? This is the reverse of 66, and that's the roadway. This is the sun, right? The Yo 11. It's telling us the story. This is the sun, the orphan child. Creation of day. Creation of the Christ. Although it's 41, your DNA, when all zeros equal to a 6, right? The 1 is inside the 5. That 1 ignites 6. Even though it's igniting 5, you need the 4 in this 5 for the energy for the half-life. You're 10 and 11. So what is the value? Well, if you take it to the moon cycle, or 28 grams to an ounce, that would be the G letter. So I'm going to just go back in the book and go to number 35 and give it a value of GT. Gematria, they are the same, 20 and 35. Why? It's 28 plus 7. Actually, I have to revert back to the alphabet where there were only 26 letters. There is no 28, so I'm reverting to the moon cycle instead, because in the moon cycle there is 28. And February is that month where it ends in 4 perfect weeks of 7 days. So that's how I get the G from over here. And here I will get the JG, or the jack hookup. And how do I get the G? Because 2 plus 8 equals the 10. The 10th letter is J, and that now ignites the reverse Q, which is the queen and the dog pound, number 62, which will create the cycle, or end the cycle of 28. 2 times 8, 16. 2 plus 8, 10, 26. 26 letter is Z. 2 times 6, 2 plus 6 equals 12 and 8, 20. 20 equals 26. We start all over again. The reverse of J is Q. Q is the 17th letter, and it's created by number 52, Earth's heart. So they're telling us number 35, electric company, passage through the moon, Earth's heart. And this is all you do is just add up your ABCs and ABCDs. Jack fell down, 35, 35, Herbie. Electric company, it's part of the beginning of pi. So everyone's leaving on a jet plane plug-in. This is just keeps getting just very confusing when I do this, because ABCD does equal to 10, but when you add up the Fibonacci style 1 and 3, I don't know if I did the Fibonacci style, because at Fibonacci be 1 and 3 is 4, and 4 and 3, right? In Fibonacci be 1 and 3 equals to 4, and then 4 and 3 equals to 7, and then 7 and 6 equals to 13, and now we'd really have ABCD as being number 13. Adding it this way, okay, 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1, 1 here, 4, add to 6 is 10. And then I went to 20. The other way around, this one over here, this next one, you would go 10 and 13. Did I get that right? 4 and 3, and then 1 and 3, okay, and then 3 and, where's 3 and 4? 3 and 1 is 4. No, I did that one already. No, something's wrong. Hold on, give me a second. Made a mistake. Sounded good. 1 and 3 is 4, and 4 is 4. Now can I go back this way? I can't go back this way, and 4 and 3 is 7, and 7 and 6 is 13. And 13 and 7 is 20, and 20 and 10 is 30. That's another way to do it. Okay, I'm not doing it that way. Wow, that was confusing even for myself. I could finish off doing more of the dots. If you're going one way, you're not going the other way. So it's this way or it's this way. Pointing to my left, pointing to my right. It's this way or that way. It can also be this way. I don't know how it works. The same thing when you hold the dice. It's either the 6 looking like an H, the 6 looking like an I, you see the center dot connected together, okay, or it's this way. And this way, I always like to look at, this is the 2 area, but you notice that because the angle of the dice, it's higher. So when you see the 2 card, see the way it shows it right out of the picture, but then when you put that rectangular card inside here, just below the point, and all the way down here, and keep it inside, you end up with a teeny little playing card, and that's how you end up seeing the 3. Can you see the, let me see, hold on. That's how you end up seeing the 3 sitting just like this. That's the way the 3 sits. And the 2 sits like that. So we have to start playing around with our dice cube to see how they sit in the deck of cards. I just want to say Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Either it's this scenario where you divide 7 and 9 and 1 and 3 come together, or 7 and 9 comes together and 1 and 3 are separate. Something to think about. Forget about it, Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Till later. Let's just remember, it's all made somewhere else, and whatever we're doing and whatever job we have, how can we celebrate, understand, what can we do? We're all, you know what it means, polar ice? Polar ice. Forget about the ice. Well, yeah, keep the ice and keep the beginning and the end of the word, and forget about the lar in the word. But we're doing it to each other. And until we stop doing it, until we stop, the paychecks won't come in. We're going to find it hard. But those who are collecting have to have your back and not to collect. They have to stop collecting. It's you and me. I'm collecting from you. I'm taking away your rights. It's you and me, nobody else. It's you and me. If we have to stop doing it to each other, then we're all fine. Just let's put everything on hold. Put everything on hold and hold my hand. We are all pinning it against each other. This is the final episode, my friends. Things we've heard in the past are finally coming true, but we still don't believe. And you won't believe. Some don't want to believe. Some can't believe it. How come? How come? Who's on first? 777 says it all. Thank you for watching The Last Moon.